CarMax, you need to lower your prices. Used car prices are falling, pops. And we got 3 examples of why CarMax, if you go there, you're going to be paying a pretty penny. You know, there's a lot of convenience, which we can appreciate, but Dad, used car prices are falling. CarMax is not following that trend. Let's expose what's going on.
Well, what's going on is somebody's got to pay for all those stars that are in their commercials. I mean, Steph Curry needs to get paid. Sue Bird needs to get paid. I mean, these people aren't doing this for free. So, perhaps when you do buy a car at CarMax, you should ask for a free autograph.
All right, folks, let's jump in. So CarMax, obviously one price dealership. We've got 3 examples. We'll start here with this 2021 Toyota RAV4 LE. Now, you can run CarMax cars back on CarEdge.com to see how long CarMax has had them and to see the price history. So, Dad, this LE, this RAV4 LE, they've had it for 98 days. Not too long, but it's getting up there in age. And they have come down on price a little bit, $1,000 since they originally listed this vehicle for sale. The way that we're going to determine if they're overpriced or priced fairly is we're going to go to caredge.com/sell and pretend like we're going to sell it back to CarMax.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing is you can just look at what the list price was of that vehicle when it was brand new in October of 2021.
Yeah, it was a $30,539 new car, originally listed for sale at CarMax at nearly $31,000. Again, go watch some of our other videos. Used car prices are falling. That's why there's downward pressure on CarMax and others to lower their used car prices. Dad, when you run it through the Sell network, CarMax is smart enough. They know not to bid on their own vehicle. But Vroom and Car Gurus, they did give us values, cash offers in that area. Vroom is the high offer at $24,174. Car Gurus at $21,544. Again, CarMax, one price, $29,998. A little pricey, isn't it?
I take it back. You should get a free autograph and a free basketball at that kind of. I mean, yes, they're entitled to make a profit. Yes, you are paying them for the convenience of a no hassle, no haggle experience. That does not necessarily translate into the fact that you should be paying several $1,000s more than what you could get that vehicle for somewhere else. So you have to temper that no haggle, no hassle experience with how much you're willing to overpay for a vehicle. Unfortunately, you can't negotiate at CarMax, but you might be able to wait them out until they lower the values or the prices of some of the vehicles.
Stay tuned for the 3rd vehicle that we're going to be looking at, Dad. It is one that CarMax has been trying to sell for over a year. Maybe they wholesaled it at some point and it got back into the CarMax ecosystem. Our data tracking has found it on the internet, on the CarMax website, for sale every single day for over 400 days. And we're going to look at what they do to the price history. That'll be the 3rd vehicle we look at, because you're right. Maybe you can wait them out. The 2nd vehicle we'll look at, Dad, not a Toyota this time. We'll look at a Ford F-150. We have a 2021 Ford F-150 XL. So like I said, Dad, 46 days they've had this vehicle, so not that long yet. Maybe give it another couple weeks, they'll drop the price on it. Do you have a guess for what you think some of the other competitors in the space would actually pay to buy this thing as if they were going to, turn around and sell it themselves?
I'm going to guess around $32,000 to $33,000.
He's pretty good, folks. He's pretty good. Again, Vroom coming up with the high offer at $34,642. Car Gurus at $33,800. The spread here isn't terrible, Dad. What is that? $39,998. So let's call it 40 grand. And Vroom would pay $35,642. They got to make a profit and everything.
55, yeah, $5,500 seems like a reasonable profit on a pre-owned vehicle. Sure.
Okay, maybe if wholesale truck prices weren't dropping, a point a week, that's another aspect to this story. Do you think that if CarMax 6 more weeks from now, they've had it for another, 48 days, are they going to still be sitting on it at that same price, or do you think they're going to have to lower that price?
I think their thinking is that if it's not moving at the location it's at that price, they would rather transport that vehicle to a different location of theirs where they think they can actually get that money for it. And that's one of the things that allows CarMax to price their vehicles the way they do, is they have the flexibility of shipping them all over the country so that they can place it in a location where they can get the absolute most for a vehicle. Perhaps those people that would pay the most need to start shopping in areas outside of those, and they could learn to pay the least.
All right, Dad, the third and final example here from CarMax would be a 2013 Hyundai Elantra GLS. Okay, this is an older vehicle. It doesn't actually have that many miles for how old it is, only 76,000. Dad, CarMax has been advertising this for sale for over 400 days. So to your point, maybe we've picked it up at various locations, moving it around the country, trying to get a buyer for this vehicle. And when you look at the price history.
And Zach, the good news is that for the 400 and some days it's been sitting at CarMax, well, that was an entire year plus that it wasn't driven. Another reason why the miles are so low.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Look at this price history, Dad. You can see the boom of used car prices accelerating and appreciating in 2022. Originally, back in March of 2017, this was a $12,000 used car. 6-7 years ago, this was a $12,000 used car with less miles, and it was a newer used car.
Yes.
Then look at that in October of 2022, CarMax started to merchandise it, tried to sell it as a $16,000 used car. They've come down to $13,599. So you can see here, folks, CarMax is content. I mean, the October 26, 2022, $16,000. It took them another 6 months to actually come down in March of 2023 to $14,998. Like, they are happy, Dad. Seems like, to sit on these expensive prices for a long, long time. It took them another 6 months to drop it another $400. It took them another 2 months to drop it another $500. Like, they are happy to overprice or price high and, sell the convenience.
Exactly. And they have proven over the course of time that there are more than enough customers. After all, they are the largest retailer of pre-owned cars in the country. They sell nearly 1 million vehicles annually. So they know that by waiting, there's more than enough people that are willing to overpay for the. Oh my goodness. Don't tell me these are the offers we're getting.
So these, when you run this car on CarEdge.com/sell, in that region, you get Car Gurus offering $1,600 and Cash for Cars offering $1,400. Dad, CarMax has been sitting on this trying to get $14,000 for it, $13,500 now. Originally, they wanted $16,000. So, Dad, does CarMax need to lower their prices? I think so, right? Like, all the signs that we just demonstrated in this video, they got to lower their prices. They don't really have a choice. I mean, I guess the choice is, do it slowly, and I guess they're big enough and there's enough people that know the brand, but all those 3 data points, I think, are pretty damning for why they need to lower prices.
They need to lower prices, and the buying public needs to be more aware as to how much extra they are paying for that experience. And I'm not saying for a moment that a no haggle, no hassle, fun car buying experience doesn't have a value. It does indeed. But is that value $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $10,000 more than what you should be paying? Probably not. Part of this is education. You need to be educated as to what the market is and what others are willing to pay for the vehicles on a wholesale level that you would be looking at CarMax. And take that information to help influence your decision as to whether or not it is priced competitively enough for you to overpay slightly for that convenience. If it's not, and in many cases it won't be, if it's not, then pass.